Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea, where we argue before we enter the airways. And we write. We have to start our morning off.
It's Jade fault. They're just Jade. There's coming with some nonsense in here.
Yeah. But it is, again, another wonderful day. And today is Tuesday, and I can't remember what Tuesday is.
It's simultaneous Taco Tuesday. Jade, what tacos?
Tickle me
Taco Tuesday.
A great fan of ours jump up big and say she gonna bring.
Wait! Don't talk about it like that on the air, and then.
And then what happened?
I still waiting.
To no avail.
Maybe she forget.
Yeah, well then see. Well, every Tuesday we gonna remind her.
Remind her on Mondays.
Oh, it's true. That's a good one. We have to remind her on Monday so we can get them on Tuesday. But to our wonderful friend.
You know why I can't? Because I tried getting her contact and she said, no, I don't want y'all to say it on here. I was like, me gonna say it on here. But she said, no, I'm gonna come down and give you all instead. So I said, okay, I'm not going to pressure her into revealing.
It's trickery.
So she gave us a doggy?
A 6.
For a 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Sugarfoot, Jade is in here bashing you and dragging your name. Dragging your lack of name because you never gave it. Dragging your persona. And I don't have it. I don't want to have it.
Dragging the image of you.
Yeah, dragging your image.
And you know why?
Redeem yourself.
Because we could have been having some crunchy tacos.
Great is thy faithfulness.
But you know, I got good Mexican food by chinchillas, yeah.
Well,
You ever had a chimichanga from over there?
It's a Mexican restaurant. I would expect.
I actually never had. No, Jay, that doesn't mean that.
I said I would expect.
We always expect things we don't get. But
I expect good food from only places that only take cash.
yes,
And you have to look around to ensure your safety.
And you also have to seek out the people who work there when you reach because nobody will be there.
You have to show up to the No, you don't say hello. You say inside.
Inside, yeah.
And a dog has to just be randomly roaming.
And there should be a chicken within a 1 mile radius.
For a little razzle-dazzle.
For a little razzle-dazzle.
And it must be riddled with flies.
That is the
And you
recipe
must
for
receive
good
your food in a black plastic bag.
I need at least one person that don't speak the native languages.
And sweet ketchup has to be on the counter.
Sweet ketchup, Mabel's.
What?
You hear the recipe for a good restaurant?
You decided lick up your lips like you hungry.
Mabel's ketchup, you know Mabel's ketchup?
Yeah, but you I hear Mabel's.
Yeah, I'm
He had a flashback.
moist. Huh?
He had a flashback. He had Mabel's and had a flashback.
Yeah, bye. Uncle T is bye.
It has that effect.
Yeah, Uncle T's in a while. You know?
Uncle T's need to go back to the. Hey, my mother's here. I had a conversation last night.
Oh.
Remembering a staple of the Kitchen food lore. Right?
Which one? Because a bunch of them finish.
You remember, have you ever experienced standing up on 4th Street? Right?
Well,
You
yeah, yes,
you know
yes.
what
Yeah,
I'm
yes,
saying.
yes.
You know
We
what
may be if something come back, something just popped into my mind.
I'm
Let's see if it's the same
Ain't
thing.
the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Oh, wait, Lord.
have you ever been on the top of 4th Street and found yourself drifting unknowingly towards the east, only to recognize by the time you reach the Queen Victoria roundabout that what's really happening is the fact that the scent of Gillish chicken has somehow entered your nostrils
No.
What I got to do with 4th Street?
and pulling you. Bus.
And Gillies
Gillies,
only
you
open
could,
in the night.
you could smell Gillies from at night. You know what I'm telling you?
But why on 4th Street though?
Why, man? Show me how the 4th Street
Right,
is.
Because you could smell Gillies from the whole of town.
Yeah. My mother used to come in there when I was small.
Bye. When
You know, Gilly's fried chicken since we parents like 6 and 7 years
That's what I'm
old.
Yeah.
telling you.
And still on. Wait, is he wife
his
now?
wife, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, his wife.
But it opens,
And-
I think it only opens in the night.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
But the thing about it is, you ever see anybody else anywhere in the world do chicken like Gillies?
No.
But it's only Gillies do chicken like that.
You're making me want Gillies now.
Like,
Yeah, wait long, 'cause they know.
I know.
Why?
Probably gonna get to
And today is Tuesday, they might not at all.
I was gonna say probably gonna get to Saturday.
Sunday nights, it was a thing. We go with Gillies Sunday nights.
But
And why?
there was
Oh,
also another staple for my household, at least when I was small, on the same road, selling chicken as well.
Is that Tyson?
Dyson's.
Oh my
Dyson's.
god, look here.
Dyson's
right?
wings.
Dyson's wings.
And
the
festival.
Ah.
Oh my god. Amali, I used to dig up my house trying to find change because they used to deliver. So I used to just dig up my house, finding change until I reached how much it was? How much was a portion? Of
I was
chicken?
small, and it was perfect. man.
Yeah, I mean
Well, I used
It
to
was
cut
just
mine because my father never used to be home.
My
all
mother
the
used to
time.
buy 2 big crate.
Yeah.
Well, when daddy ate
And
home,
sauce.
Oh.
The chicken them lying down like they're submerged in the sauce here, like.
Yeah. Marinating.
And he had the spicy and the mild.
my thing with the barbecue. With some festivals, you just dip the
Festival.
in
Oh
sauce.
my God. You're eating the wings, right? And sauce going down the elbow. Yeah.
And you just,
festivals.
you know who else was good too? El Green. Them hot
Yes,
dogs.
yes.
That's actually what I was thinking of when you said
that was
Fourth
that,
Street.
that was a staple for
Africa.
school kids.
When you said 4th Street, standing
Yeah,
on 4th
yeah,
Street,
yeah.
because you had to
Africa,
stand up
that's
outside
crazy.
sometimes to get in. I was like,
definitely.
and then you end up all the way across.
You
Like,
run
By
down the-
Panwood.
Oh, yeah, you run down the road lunchtime. So
Right,
you could
to
try
get
and beat
food.
you could try and beat the line.
Yeah, to get a burger or a hot dog.
burger.
From
Hot
El-
dog
burgers
with
for
them
me.
little, chips thing on top. Now, by time
And
you
the
get
burgers were
chips and
ready.
sauce,
How y'all feel about 5 Ways wings?
Who?
5 Ways.
Why that sound familiar?
That's not by the college deal.
That's the
I've
little
never
snack
had
it there, right?
Hmm?
That's by the snack it?
No, not the snack it. That's like directly across from the college,
Oh,
like literally down
yeah, I had-
and thing. I don't.
And the
know.
corner, ain't it?
And the corner. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
my
never had it.
mother used to go there for fried fish.
It's Naomi's.
I don't know her name.
Naomi's.
When I used to go there, it was small.
Not
So-
across the
so-
street, because there's one across the
No,
street.
in the intersection itself.
In the intersection, like at the corner of the intersection.
It's on Central Street actually.
Yeah.
It's the
Oh,
last,
no,
last building on Central
Central
Street.
Oh no, that's the one I'm talking about. Naomi's is like
Opposite. Remember where Finch
I
used
know
to
what
sell
you're
a
talking
cassette?
about, closer down to Tech
to
Park.
Tech Back, yeah. There's
Yeah.
a little snack shop thing there.
I know.
Remember Finch? You sell cassette
Yeah,
and
Finch.
game and so.
Yeah.
You're opposite Finch.
Okay, we're being told that Amali's mic is on high, as if it's on medium, and Jade is on low.
And yours is perfect.
I don't know. I guess mine ain't on. But
That's fascinating because my headphones are very low.
Jade and Azim are sharing a mic because there's only one microphone on that side. So sometimes they're abusing without moving the microphone. So that's what you're hearing. So to Facebook people, Facebook just changed
Again?
significantly. like the web version, and I don't know what's happening, so I'm struggling to figure out how to get to
But
the
I'm saying
live.
last month.
Like
The web
change
version?
the web version.
Yeah, like
But
on your
Facebook
computer.
changes
Yeah.
everyone for no reason.
Like change.
Let me see again.
Wait, let me
I changed
let me
like
open
last
it
month
quick.
to something horrendous, and I stopped
They
using it.
always
Probably that I don't use Facebook.
But no, what happened is, right? 2 months ago, you had the option to change.
Yes, I didn't. You're right. I didn't do it, but I
And
think I forced the
I
option.
chose the option because I didn't want. I was let me just get this over with, because they did say on the 1st of December it would switch automatically.
This thing.
Oh, it's disgusting.
This is what you're talking about. Yeah, they just forced me to change because as soon as I open
I
it,
don't use Facebook on my laptop, so I don't know.
I don't use Facebook. So,
Anyway,
but I'm gonna
On
find
social
you
media,
at
just
some
getting them
point.
out, you know.
But yes, that's how it goes. Yes, give thanks. Give thanks. I gave up on Facebook years ago. So did we. Somebody's asking, good morning, quick question. What made both of you decide to move back to the Caribbean? I think that's everybody in this room,
except me.
except Jade.
I
'cause
never wanted to leave.
She
I
was
love
busy.
you.
She was busy spreading influence.
You're funny.
My influencer. Oh,
Anybody
boy.
want to take that question first? As in face.
I don't think this
Sometimes I
will
regret it.
Yeah, so do I.
Sometimes I regret it. Like,
I mean,
like now, so.
I like how people that say that, like as if like we could just live anywhere, anytime we want. I mean, I had a green card and I finished school in the middle of the Great Depression. No, but really, I was all like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and coming back here trying to make a difference and thing. And then I came back here and work out. But what I doing, man? How I thought this was going to work?
That's exactly what happened to me.
That's
as
what
well.
happened to me too.
Yeah,
We
came back
all,
here
we
and
all
wanted
had hope in
to
our
make a
great
difference.
nation, and we came back and realized the nation ain't great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, all of us, we spent so much time overseas that, we forgot how things truly operate in St. Kitts, and we came back with this hope and expectancy to make a change, and then we realized that we're talking to concrete walls.
Yeah.
But you know,
If we could even find the concrete walls to talk to.
but, some big stone. But you know what has really depressed me about being back here? Like the difference in the quality of service
Yes.
and people's disregard for time. It's outrageous.
Mm.
Like you're meeting somebody somewhere, and just this morning I was thinking about driving here now. You say, yo, what time you want us to meet by the park? And they will say, okay, let me meet at 7 o'clock.
You mean 9?
And 8:30 reach and nobody come yet.
And then if you
But
text
nobody
them,
would call
nobody
to
would
say,
call and
listen,
say
yo,
nothing.
I got a flat tire, my child acting up.
gonna be a few minutes
But then I
late.
roll in and be like, where was I? Say, bye. Man, I want to tell you, so I take a ball, I think a bit. I just like, but you could have said something.
Yeah.
Like that don't happen, like where I was until like.
Mm.
Yeah, where I was too, you get
You know what?
advance notice.
You know what it is that get to me. Like, I feel it is very difficult to find like-minded people all the time.
Yep.
In St. Kitts?
Yeah.
Yep.
Get it.
Like-minded groups.
All I got is go up by the sanctuary.
To meet you? To meet you sitting
I
here?
didn't go there. I went to the birthplace of champions.
I don't think that's what they're calling it, but okay.
These days it's true, things change.
We went to the birthplace of champions. We don't know what's left now.
Where was left now is a wasteland and Victoria Road.
Right. But
That
yeah,
does make me sad every
that's what I
time.
do it for me. And like well, I had this point where it's like I felt like I was losing myself. Y'all ever experienced that?
When you're out there,
No, when you came back, and it's like you
that's happening to me right now.
yeah,
No,
you-
I lost myself on the airport.
oh,
Well, even
yeah,
though
you ain't find it back yet.
I swear I fly Liad because me get back that
I was gonna
baggage.
say that they're gone Antigua.
Lost myself as soon as I hit the airport.
But like for me, even though I never used to live out there and didn't come back.
I want to know what you're talking like. This one in a play to you.
No, but he said something about like many people, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's true because like I think people think I'm weird, which is true.
I wonder why.
I don't think you're weird.
I don't think you're weird. I just
But a
think
lot
that
of people
you.
do. Like when I remember one time, right? You think I'm weird? Thanks. One time I was.
But it's a
talk-
good way.
Yeah, it's really
One time I
weird.
was talking to somebody and
It
I was
is
like,
good, actually.
"What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "What? What you want me to tell you?" That's just.
And they usually answer. The list is exhaustive.
That's a good one. I'm gonna
The
add
list
that.
is exhaustive.
By that thing though. What has upset me too? Well, I wouldn't say upset. Yeah, it really get me really angry. like the difference in mentality as well. How archaic we process things.
Yeah.
Not just the thing is, but in the Caribbean too.
Yeah.
Just last night I was watching an interview with the Prime Minister of New Zealand. What's your name again?
I like her and I like the Chancellor. I like her
New
and I
Zealand,
like the
Chancellor?
in Germany. No, in Germany. I like the German. I like the two of them.
Jacinda Ardern.
Yes.
Right? And she was on Conan doing an interview. And apparently she is, the third female Prime Minister of New Zealand and leader of the Labour Party in New Zealand, blah, 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 and all these things and so. And she was also the first or the second world leader to have a child while in office. And she's also the first world leader to carry a baby to the UN with her at one of the UN conventions.
You're right.
Right? And then in the back of your mind I was thinking like how not bashing the idea but babies are a lot.
Yeah,
and you're going to the UN to debate on behalf of your nation, like how. And then she said, yeah, my partner, whatever his name, Greg, however his name, came with me. Mm-hmm. And they bring up a picture of her talking to some other world leader, and the man behind there with the baby, and so I just like she is so forward thinking in terms of her concept of family. I mean, traditionally the man would play that role and the woman would be in the back with the baby and thing, and it's totally reversed. And I find it to be so beautiful.
You think that we would ever...
The man ain't got a job. The man just home looking after the youth. Right?
You think we would ever get to a place where we have a female person that is leading the country?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of these days.
Yeah, we're
like one of these days while we're alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Right?
I
And
mean,
I'm just
have you seen what women are doing around here?
Yeah, I know.
This year was the year for girls, by.
Yeah, girls been winning right now.
I see it, but because as you said, it's such a barbaric way of thinking. Like
yes, and I was getting to that. I have spoken to several, very intelligent young ladies in St. Kitts and in Nevis, and that idea is
hard,
is alien
hard,
to them.
Hard to accept.
Like me supporting a man and a man guy my child.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I walk in, wait, hey, push it out.
Yeah, that's it.
okay,
That's
but
I'm just like, and I think I mentioned this before. I was talking to a young lady. She owns a business in St. Kitts, a food business. She works 7 days a week, from 7 a.m. until like 9 p.m. every day. And she telling me, oh, she want to have a family and thing. I said, oh, but you want your business? So I said, so the father going to be the primary caregiver? She said, what do you mean? I said, well, you're working late nights and early mornings, so obviously somebody got to have the child and thing. So you're going to let the father like be the person to... And she said, well, he ain't push it out.
No, but...
Where am I child for?
No, but I think... No, but Amali, I think that comes from... I think that comes from a different place outside of just like traditional gender roles. I think it comes from what a lot of people view parenting as and what they see children as. A lot of people see children as like this meal ticket thing that's supposed to like take care of you when you're old and thing. And so you get this competition where you want to get this connection
You
with
want
the
to be
child.
loyal to you?
Yeah, they show like this loyalty to you and thing. Like I just see it all the time.
Yeah.
And like that, even the concept of like the response they're saying, well, he pushed it out, is almost as if suggesting that somehow I am the one.
The child is more yours than mine?
Yeah, the child is
Oh
more.
my gosh.
so here's
Well,
maybe
oh
I'll
my
tell you
gosh.
something. You know what I hate to hear? I hate to hear women that say me child. Like
And
when
it's
they talk
only,
to the,
hey,
talk to the father. Like the
and
me
it's
child
only
thing.
Mitchell.
Oh my God.
It's only Mitchell when it comes to something he wants to do, but let him don't support the child. He don't support his child.
Key child. Yeah.
Right.
Let me read something
Oh my
on the live.
God.
So someone
Disgusting.
is saying, our friend Witty Kitty is saying, a man having your child, ? And then she's saying the man is the father, not a man. You know.
Exactly.
And that's the thing too.
Exactly.
You know, it's not about letting a man have, the man holding the child. It's the child's father.
Yo, and this was something to me last
Then,
week.
What
Go
else?
ahead.
She also did. I don't think I could read this one.
This was something to me last week, right? I talking to a young lady, she a very, very young girl, she's 20, just got pregnant for this guy or whatever, right? And she was asking me, she said, Amali, like how, like You answer him, the like Leo like go to that and so.
Duh.
I just like, but who go with him? I understand the question. She said, but yeah, but should I like Leo like be with the child like without her deal? I said, she asked me direct. I said,
No, but that's I know where you're going with this. Go
and
ahead.
I was like, but I'm not incompetent. I don't understand. Like, me understand what you're asking me. She said, bye. So she like go. I said, yeah. She like go with me all the time for a whole day when she got things to do and so I go for the baby and thing. And she just like, so young. And then she moves on to say, my child, father can get this child here before you're a certain age.
That
I
makes
just like, oh my
zero
God.
sense.
Because then
That is
now this
so-
child is 2 and being introduced to somebody
She
that's been there
said,
from
she said he can be with the child in her presence, so he can come to her
Men
house and
That-
are seen as incapable of parenting
Yes.
outside of providing.
yes.
Well,
That's what it
some,
is.
let me, yeah.
That's what
Well,
it is.
some men, because I like that's so stupid for me to hear somebody like every time I tell somebody how myself and my son's dad arrangement is, they're shocked, and I'm like,
because it puts the child first.
I'm like, well, why
But
wouldn't
what yo?
Shade.
The well-being of the child priority.
You mean the child is the priority in that
Wow.
It is
Oh
so
wow.
it is so ridiculous.
How
to
arbitrary.
me. I know. Like, what? How is this a new concept for you to actually share custody of the child and not just having the child go by their father on the weekend for 2 days?
Bye.
The
What no?
competition for love.
You know what else I don't like? I
Competition
don't
for
like
love.
when parents don't allow the child to figure out the relationship that they would like to have with their other parent. They create that relationship for them and they don't give the child the opportunity to do it. So for example, they would wake up every day and feed the child in this persona of the parent. Oh, your child father, your father ain't want to come for you, your father want to pick you up, your father ain't want to be with you, when it's a simple situation
Oh my
where
gosh.
you don't want him to have a child. You're feeding this kid.
It's a competition for love.
It's like, can you allow the child to build their own relationship with the parent?
But okay, bro, like I have a friend, a very close friend who I watched, and it's the person I've known, like been close to for like maybe 10 years, close to the family and thing, and I've seen the evolution of the relationship between her and her dad, right? Where she literally would not refer to her dad as anything positive. So he would be the sperm donor. She would never say, Dad, my father, nothing, but the sperm donor. That's what she would call him. Now, I don't know enough about the situation to know whatever, but over the years, she'll say certain things and hint and hint and hint. And then one day I was like, okay, I mean, trying to get in your business and thing, but it seems as though your father, you have this view of your father, but then every time you talk about him in his other situation now, he seems to be doing things in that situation different to what he was doing in your situation. So it's not that he's incapable of being a good dad. So why do you think he was a bad dad to you?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it sparked some questions for her. Over the years, she observed, she reached out to her family that was estranged on Facebook. And they were all excited to meet her and thing and connect. And they spoke online, spoke on WhatsApp. End up building a relationship. Now she would see the guy, cause he doesn't live here. He would come home from time to time. She might see him in the store and he's just like another stranger.
Wow.
Right? And eventually, like I guess the sisters told him like, look, we've been talking, it'll be good if you all sit down and talk or whatever. And then she finally got his side of the story. And stuff started to make so much more sense. Now the man is like so happy that he's getting this opportunity now to connect with her and all kind of things. Only to realize that really and truly, his mother just was upset because the man built a house and walk out. He ain't putting she name on the house. So she used the child as a bargaining chip. I know the mother's actually admitted this now. Like, yeah, that's what it was, and I think he should have do it and still feel she right.
Still living in it, yeah.
And has deprived the child of a relationship with her dad for over 30 years.
I probably. You see? Easy, so I would have just cut off communication with my mom for a good while. because you don't do that to people. You can't.
Yeah, that happen every day. It happens right now as
I
we
know
speak.
it happens all the
That's
time, but
normal.
I think it's ridiculous for you to if your child, if you know you have a child with someone and they are willing and able and doing everything in their power to take care of that child with you. Why are you making it hard? And I'm not talking
Right.
about dad or mom. I'm just talking about parents in general.
Whoever in the Bible, right, Mark on, there's nothing more horrible than a woman's scorn. Or however you go. How you go preach up?
Hell hath no fury.
Like a woman's
Like a
scorn.
woman's
Like a
scorn.
woman's scorn, that there is a true story
Right.
when it comes to children.
But wait, let me tell you
Wait, let me
something,
tell you-
right? Let me tell
That
you
is true,
something,
actually.
right?
That is true. Bye. Wait
As
now.
a, wait,
I
wait.
fear no man, but you see a woman? What? I am scared.
Let me tell you something, right? As a working mom, y'all see how I don't work, right? I am so
I know you got a job, but I mean,
one of these days, Amali, I'm gonna turn off the camera and I'm gonna come in and just ramp you up.
We heard it here. You-
Yeah, I said it.
I like how the fans hear it now.
I said it.
yeah. Innocent
Anyway.
little helpless Jade is threatening to rample me up.
Yes. They're gonna
Hey
just
man,
come
that I
back.
wounded.
They're gonna just come back, your glasses on top of your head, turn over. They never gonna know what happened. But I am I'm not even going to lie, right? Even though situations may not be how you envision them to be when you were in a situation before. I am so happy to say that my son's dad and his family is very active in his life. I don't have to worry about anything. It allows me to be able to do my work not only in the day but in the night, because I work sometimes 24/7. And Jaden has a very good relationship with his dad. Like, his dad shows up for everything. So
You know, I'm crying about it.
moms and dads, please do not deprive your child of relationships
And sometimes it's
with
tough,
their
yeah.
parents.
That's the big thing
It
there,
is
yeah.
very important for you to allow your child to have that relationship, because you don't want your child to go up and then realize everybody else have a mommy and daddy that in their life, but I only have a mommy or I only have a daddy. Then come to find out it's because you was vexed with the parent when the child was small, so you deprive that child of that relationship.
Oh, that
That
happens
is
straight.
selfish.
That
That happens
happens
straight.
all the time.
Yeah.
And bear in mind that there's some parents who really seem to like they just don't care less.
Like, you
Right?
how you do not
And
care
but-
about your
but-
child?
But I'm saying is when you have parents that are willing, not are willing, but need they need the relationship with the child too. They need that, just like the child needs it. And to be deprived of that, I think is sinful.
Listen, there are a lot of men around this federation that have been labeled that have been labeled as deadbeats and useless and worthless, and it's not the case. A lot of them.
A lot.
Some of them are, but a lot of them.
Yeah, some of them are. Like I have come across some situations like, boy, how you could live with this?
But when you have,
you could breathe by it.
Say, like, there's the fact that there's people that have fathers that don't want to participate in their lives, and you see how that affects them later. But you have somebody that wants to be in your child's life,
And
you depriving that child of that. Why?
yeah, and
You
just
show
like
some
as him said, right?
And
There are two sides to every story, and like
Yeah, and the belief that the belief, and this is something that is very popular now. The belief that I don't need a man and whatever, and I could be mother and father, I could be father and mother, and I could this and I could this and I could this and
Stupid. Anyway. let's
we have to pause for a cause. Hear some words from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with some
Talking trash.
talking trash. I almost said waste matters.
Yeah, I know.
Some talking trash with our friends from Slightly Waste. We'll be right back.
The Solid Waste Management Corporation, SWMC, is working hard each and every day to keep St. Kitts clean. Our primary mandate is to collect household waste while maintaining the engineer sanitary landfill in Connery. While it is the responsibility of businesses to see to it that their garbage is properly collected and disposed of at the landfill, the SWMC offers a commercial waste disposal service with our Nosy program. We also offer a bin rental service where persons can rent large bins to do community cleanups or other waste disposal activities. Additionally, our headquarters in Taylor's Range include state-of-the-art conference rooms for rental. So when you're hosting another event, consider using the SWMC conference facilities. We want to continue serving you by keeping our environment clean. Because at the SWMC, waste matters. For more information, call our office at 465-9507.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali, and it is time to talk trash. Welcome, guys.
Good morning to all our radio listeners today. It's a pleasure once again to be back with you with another episode of Talking Trash. Today, 1st December 2020. Oh my God.
Right? The year is done.
2020 is done.
I realize that, sorry, this month is the month last year that Corona started over in the East.
So it's officially
It's almost been a year since Corona hit the world.
Wow. No wonder we...
And in 2 months, it will be a year since it came to St. Kitts.
Give God thanks,
And we thought it was going to be about 3 weeks.
Man, we have to give God thanks. We are safe, so far, so good. Right?
Yeah.
All praises to the Almighty for bringing
14
us
days.
through this challenging year. We are so grateful. Okay, Talking Trash is aired every Tuesday morning from 8:30 to 9 a.m. right here on WinFM 98.9. I am your host, Ainita Lake, Collection Manager of Solid Waste Management Corporation. And the program comes your way to educate you and to inform you of what's happening at Solid Waste Management. One's greatest asset is knowledge. And so at Solid Waste Management Corporation, we deal with the generation, collection, transportation, and disposal and treatment of solid waste here in St. Kitts. I have with me one of my colleagues, and I will now give her the opportunity to introduce herself.
Hi, good morning. My name is Taisha Henry. I'm the collections officer at Solid Waste.
There you have it, the collection officer. Okay, remember you can call us at any time with your ideas, suggestions, and concern. Only so can we serve you better. So we welcome all your calls. Okay, we'll get right into the meat of the matter. Today we are going to address several topics, several issues that we are encountering there at Solid Waste. And we are here to also educate you of what you should and shouldn't do when it comes to solid waste. All right? And we're going to look at the disposal of tires, incorrect disposal of tires, indiscriminating burning of waste. We're going to look at glass bottles, cardboard disposal, and collection during the Christmas season. I hope we'll be able to cover all these topics this morning. So first, let me look at discriminate burning of waste. For the month of November, we received several complaints regarding the burning of trash and green waste in the hills and also in persons' backyard. I want to point out that indiscriminate burning of waste can cause major air pollution. It's not legal to burn fields, grass, or any waste whatsoever. And many farmers are finding pleasure in doing so. As simple as it may look, the immediate effect and the air quality often accompanied by an increase in respiratory diseases. So let me stress a little on this. Burning of green waste, that is grass, green leaves, or fields, could have serious implications for people already suffering from respiratory diseases. And it also contributes to global warming. And my recommendation is, if you cannot take them to the landfill, then spread them in your garden, because they are biodegradable and they will break down and help nourish the soil. Again, we're asking person to desist in burning any sort of garbage whatsoever, whether it is green waste, whether it is municipal waste, whatever. Once it is waste, please desist of burning waste. Those of you who think it's okay to burn garbage in your backyard, we are asking you to desist in doing so. It is not okay. Put your garbage out on the curb. The trucks comes around twice per week. We will take them. If you're caught burning garbage, you will be fined heavily. At this time, I'm going to turn over to Miss Henry, and she's going to talk a little and the separation of glass bottles.
Now about the glass bottles. We have a program, we have a nosy program that we go around to apartments, business places, and we have a set day that we go and we collect their garbage. We are asking everyone who's on the nosy program, maybe people who do not know anything about it, maybe you can call the office, find out what is the procedure. We have something that we just introduced with collection of glass bottles. Mm-hmm. We asking people if you have any glass bottles, you can call us and we could have a set day when we pick up those glass bottles, even cardboards, right? Mm-hmm. Cardboards.
Yes.
And we find that most people do not know anything about this nosy program. What happens is that business places are supposed to pay for the garbage to be collected. Mm-hmm. We are not picking this place or that place. It's everyone. We haven't got everybody on board. And some people, when we go to them, they say, oh, why not go to that person? Why not go to this person? We are coming to everyone. If you hear about it, you can call. You can get the information and we can come and have you sign up. The nosy program is something that will help everybody, and in that way we can show people how to dispose of the garbage. And we find that separation of garbage is something that we want to move on to maybe later in a couple of years, have days when we collect plastic bottles, glass bottles, cardboards, those kind of stuff. Mm. Yeah. So anybody can call in, find out when they can come, get the information, and we'll be able to give them the information.
Okay then.
Yeah. So as she said, separate your glass bottles. Do not throw them or mix them with your garbage.
In the regular trash.
Right.
Right.
Interesting.
We have our first call. Caller, good morning.
Really? I'm the first. That is interesting. Hey, thanks very much. Good morning to everyone. I'm not listening to radio. I don't know who are there. Most definitely Mr. Philip, I would hold, because I'm not too close to radio. But one of the things I'm asking Mr. Philip, and all the people whose name I mentioned of these businesses, solid waste, the health department, and beach and parks, generally speaking, of the men who cut people lawns, I am asking for you all to see how best can all you at least encourage them. When they're done cut people lawns, clean up the streets and clear the drains. It makes it more difficult in communities and neighborhoods of the places me and other people live. Tell them to clean up the grass. It looks unsightly. Gentlemen, and if there is a woman up, someone I don't know, and voices I haven't heard because I'm listening to the radio, pleasant good morning to you all. Have a productive day, and please, do get safe. Bye-bye.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for that suggestion. I would think that the persons who cut the grass would have heard just what you said. We definitely are encouraging persons when they cut the grass, especially the side of the road, to remove them, to take them out of the drains, especially because once they remain in the drain, it blocks, clogs, and so it could cause more problem. Mm-hmm. So we are on board with that. I want to look at illegal dumping of tires. Mm-hmm. No, first of all, I want to point out the damage that old tire can do to the environment. It is more than just the negative effect of rubber. Tires seem like simple contraptions. However, there is more to them than meet the eyes. The biggest problem with discarding old tires is that they contain chemical and heavy metals that leach into the environment as the tires break down. Mm-hmm. Some of these chemicals cause cancer. Leaching affects the soil around the old tire, which at first may not seem like a big problem, but if the tire is eventually moved, the soil will still have the toxins, And so another major concern is groundwater. If the toxin get into water, especially drinking water, right? It can cause diarrhea. It can cause disease, the body to develop some kind of effect, right? So the water and if the water is transported to another locations, potentially it can also harm any animal that come in contact with the poison water. So we are asking person, please, to take your tires to the landfill.
So, question. I've been to many places around the island and realized that people use tires in their gardens. So you're saying that you advise against that?
Well, you see,
They'll have the tires around the plants and thing. Obviously, the tire is breaking down.
right?
It's in the soil. It's leaking into the soil, and so
That's what I'm saying. It may seem simple, but the tire they let off chemicals,
Toxins and so,
toxins, and it goes back into the soil, but into the same vegetable that you use.
And the tires can also use to make the same material that we do to make the roads.
Exactly.
That is how serious it is. You cannot take tires.
Yeah, there
anywhere.
recycle tires here?
No.
Oh, you should look into that. Well, not you, but the people who pave the roads. Because thing is, suppose a heap of tires here. We have a call. Caller, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Moderator.
Morning.
Taisha, good morning.
Morning.
And
Yeah.
Miss
She blushed just now.
Okay, good program as usual. Well, you know, me and Jamdong and Emil gonna come in. Well, I'm saying this to solid waste management. In Trinidad, they purchase a lot of used material that solid waste is throwing away as trash. Why don't we mulch them up and pack them, and solid waste would make money out of them, sell them to Trinidad? What we throwing here as garbage and condemn Trinidad making money from it? So what it is, a poor man trash, a rich man trash is a poor man wealth. Now, Miss Lake,
Yes, sir.
I've been saying this to Keith Lino. Why don't you all come on the radio one morning and all the criminal activities of dirtying the place up, discarding what they have as trash? Let us know what is the penalty for that. The penalty for all that is bad and that concerns solid waste. Because coming telling us all the time, don't throw this in the garbage bin. And next week you come back again, you come with another thing, don't throw that in the garbage bin. We're hearing them. And in children, in Pampers could learn. Why can't big people learn? So put out the penalty, the laws that govern these things, and the penalty for doing this is that, and then you will see people adhere to it. Because too much of big people doing stupidness, some of them going with the garbage in the truck, nothing cover. When you look, a big piece of cement bag come out, whap, and you who behind driving, whap on your windscreen. That could cause an accident. And they know they're not supposed to drive with gravel, stone, and trash and all kind of thing. Exposed. The other thing again, a lot of them carrying gravel, stone. And when they reach around the boat where they had to go around the stone, shoot off the truck in the street. And they're dangerous to people who walk in, because one pinch of them stone, they could break somebody's foot. I have seen it up Buckley's. So you all let us know the penalty. And you all ain't going to talk no more up on the radio about this. When you catch us doing it, it's a ticket. One ticket now we skin and now we're going to keep still. Anyway, you all enjoy the Taisha.
Yeah.
Christmas coming.
No, I fool.
Still cool, you're coming up.
Okay.
All right, you all have a good day.
Okay,
Something going on there, yo.
I want to thank the caller. You know, that caller always makes good suggestions. And I really do enjoy when he calls in, because it really helps us to think, and we do make notes of what he says and to take much of what he says into consideration and applies them. I want to let him know, yes, and the general public, there are consequences for illegal dumping. And illegal dumping can be considered a misdemeanor or a felony, which in some cases is punishable by jail time. And I'm going to stress it because, as the caller rightly said, we should let people know what are the penalties. And so I'm going to just highlight it. If we refuse to pay a ticket, you can go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Illegal dumping fine can start as low as $500.
Is it as low?
Is this a purchase? A quartz commercial?
Low prices.
Low prices.
Low prices.
Oh, as low as $500.
As low as $500. As low as $500, because I don't think people is really taking it that serious. So it can cost as low as $500 for a minor offense, which even if you're being caught with a cigarette stump, being trained down, littering.
Minimum fine is $500.
Minimum.
For a cigarette butt.
For a cigarette butt. So that is why I say as low.
A good thing I don't smoke.
Right? And it can go as high as $20,000 and even more, right? In some serious, there is really serious penalty out there for littering and illegal dumping. And I don't think people is really taking it that serious. And we've been ticketing people left, right, and center. They are being ticketed. However, until somebody really get jail time, I think they will understand that it is really, really a big offense. But we are asking persons really, especially those that are guilty of this kind of behavior, to really, think before you act. Because it is not just about paying the government. It is not just about fining you. It's about the environment as a whole. Because even you yourself, when you illegally dump stuff, you're going to turn around and eat the food at which they go back into the soil. You're going to eat the food. That means you're eating your own garbage. You know what I'm saying? And so people need to really take this thing serious. Illegal dumping is a serious offense. It is really bad. And we want people to really take it at heart and to stop doing such a thing. It's almost time, but I just want to touch a little on the season coming up. In I know we're not going to have any carnival.
Carnival, keeping.
The keeping?
A small one. It's true.
The small carnival?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh,
Didn't tell you?
No, I know way of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. But solid waste always on the go. I was out there early in the morning cleaning up. I'm not sure what's gonna happen in the next few weeks, but we're preparing ourselves.
But they're no street activities. So no
There
parade
may
and
not be
driven and so.
right,
But
but,
they're going to be individual events. Yeah.
Right. So we will still have some areas that maybe still dirty. That we will still be out there. Maybe not as often because it's the least amount. But I just want to let Tayasha. She's going to speak on the days that we're going to close and the collection.
Okay.
So coming up for the Christmas season, we have a group of ladies who normally be out cleaning sometimes. And even though you say carnival keeping, I don't even sure, but these ladies going to be out there making sure everything is clean, the road is kept clean, whether they have session or not. These ladies are out. Sometimes they're out at 6 in the morning, 4. And we need people... we dispose in your garbage. Sometimes the trucks come in your area. Park in a different area. Because sometimes that affects the guys them with the truck. And then you will have to call and ask, well, my garbage has been... But it's because you park and the truck wasn't able to come in the road.
Right.
Please remember your pickup days. Park in a different area so that your garbage to be collected. Because, mind you, they're not coming back till the next week.
So if you spoil it for the road, you spoil it for the road.
Spoil it for everybody. Everybody.
And that's the problem, because if the truck cannot go into an area or on a street because of violation of a vehicle parked, it means it's not the person who parked the vehicle going to be affected. it is going to be everybody in the street, because once the truck cannot go in that area,
Everybody from that point
Everybody
moving
from that
forward.
point moving
Everybody.
forward can't get the
Everybody's
trash
gonna be-
collected.
Sometimes we have people come and say, because sometimes our guys blow their horns so that you guys cannot be out here. Please move your vehicle.
And they still ain't come out saying,
And they calling and say, please tell your man don't blow the horn.
exactly.
Don't blow the horn if
Waking up and
just
didn't,
go.
you know.
And then it's sometimes it's difficult to please people, but please be reminded of your days and pack elsewhere.
Yeah, and you know, during the season, persons throw away more garbage, about 25% more garbage during the Christmas season and into the New Year's holiday than any other time of the year.
Okay.
And so we're asking persons to really, you know, most people, as I said, do the normal cleanup, so they have more garbage. And so we're asking persons to really put the garbage in order, place your garbage out on the curb, do not dump them illegally. While the holidays might bring good cheers for most people, it also brings a lot of solid waste for the landfill. So
And if you guys have any question why your garbage wasn't collected or anything, you can always call the office. We'll be glad to help out with any situation.
Yeah, so as norm, we close on Christmas Day and also on New Year's Day. So be mindful of that when you are putting out your garbage. We want to thank you again for listening. We're looking forward for another week of Talking Trash.
all right, we'll be right back.
I'm surprised.
Your little dear country, try to do something positively. Be a watchdog for the environment. Don't leave everything to the government. We dump our garbage anywhere, lit on the streets everywhere. Our behavior is telling me that we really don't care. Take some pride in your country, volunteer to clean where it's dirty. Tourism development needs a healthy environment. Whenever we litter, we threaten our survival. So those who engage in it should be treated like criminals. So don't be afraid at all if they call you an informer. Report those who endanger our future. So if you really love this blessed land, this situation demands attention. Think about the future generation. Do what we can to preserve this island. The laws for littering we must enforce. We have to let justice take its course. If you are a proud citizen, you have the right, you have a reason to save this land from destruction. You have an obligation to become involved in anything which affects this nation.
The Solid Waste Management Corporation, SWMC, is working hard each and every day to keep St. Kitts clean. Our primary mandate is to collect household waste while maintaining the engineered sanitary landfill in Connery. While it is the responsibility of businesses to see to it that their garbage is properly collected and disposed of at the landfill, the SWMC offers a commercial waste disposal service with our Nosy program. We also offer a bin rental service where persons can rent large bins to do community cleanups or other waste disposal activities. Additionally, our headquarters in Taylor's Range include state-of-the-art conference rooms for rental. So when you're hosting another event, consider using the SWMC conference facilities. We want to continue serving you by keeping our environment clean. Because at the SWMC, waste matters. For more information, call our office at 465-9507.
Use your National Bank Visa debit card 5 times or more weekly for a chance to win a $500 shopping spree. Compliments of National Bank. So think twice the next time you want to use cash. Choose your National Bank Visa debit card instead, because you might be the next lucky winner. Use your National Bank Visa debit card every transaction for a chance to be the next lucky winner. Cashless SKN is our new lifestyle choice. National Bank, always here.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Paint it, tile it, improve it. Your walls, paint it. Your floors, tile it. Your home, improve it. Huge savings at the Hosford's Building Center. Paint it, tile it, improve it. Sales event happening now. Yes. Come to Hosford's Building Center now and get savings of 25% off all paint and up to 75% off all tiles. Yes. Love things are gonna keep at Hosford's with up to 75% off piles of tiles in all styles and 25% off all paint. Come now and get a chance to win $500 shopping spree at Value Mart with the purchase of 5 gallons of paint or more. That's right. Buy 5 gallons or more of paint and you get a chance to win $500 in free groceries. Starting now until December 31st, 2020. It's your home. So paint it, tile it, improve it. At Hosford's Building and Nevis Center's year-end Paint It, Tile It, Improve It sale. Come now. Save big and simply paint it, tile it, and improve it. The event starts now and ends December 31st, 2020. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali, and it is time for tea. Hee hee. So, yes. So let's talk some tea time. Hee hee. Whoa. Okay. People out there having conversations. I finally figured out Facebook, so I could see the comments. But yeah, they're out here chatting me and my Pellegrino. Witty kitty, alright. But let's talk some tea time. So the government of Antigua is making it mandatory for people to quarantine to wear tracking bracelets. So people who are placed in quarantine will be mandated by law to wear COVID-19 government issued bracelets which will allow health personnel to track their movements. Penalties will also be implemented for those who attempt to tamper with the devices. These are some of the changes that the parliamentarians will be discussing on Monday when they meet to further discuss the amendments to the COVID-19 regulations that are happening in Antigua. So we talked about this a while back, the tracking bracelet situation, and essentially house arrest. Because it's probably going to be the same type of bracelets, because they have tamper things on them to tell you if it was tampered with and all these things. But it's unfortunate that it boils down to this being the solution, because people just can't do what they're supposed to do. Like not go to work to serve people at restaurants.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think people, even if people were doing what they were supposed to do, that's not something the government could just assume.
Yeah.
But I don't even know why it was even discussed in the first place. Like if they're gonna do it,
Yeah.
I want to give them the opportunity.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the issue too. Eh? Part of the issue is like a lot of things that's happening now, you know, because of the pandemic, things that would have possibly been unheard of, like prior to COVID. You know what I mean? And so I think it's a whole shift for society on a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I don't want the government tracking my movements, especially if I haven't committed any crime. I've taken negative tests, which is why I'm here. Like, so.
Okay, don't come then.
But that's no. But no, I'm saying prior to COVID, these things have been unthinkable. But given the pandemic, like we have to see a shift in how society processes these things.
But they're going to still come with the same arguments though.
Yeah, they come with the same arguments. And
the woman who went in, she going Walmart and said she wearing a mask because it's a violation of her rights.
Right. And I understand why it takes time for people to shift those things. But again, it has to be a shift because we're in a situation that we haven't seen before. So things are going to happen in ways that we haven't seen before.
This it really have anything to do with what we're talking about with the bracelets, right? But something that pissed me off yesterday, I went to Lucky's to get some stuff. And you know when you're going into this... Wait, a minute. Wait a minute.
Anyway, continue.
Your questions are just throw me off with it because like where be?
And I want to ask where you did.
Okay. But you know how like I feel like people behaving like people who working in these stores are the people who just pulling these new
these protocols
out of thin air.
Oh yeah,
Why would you be rude to somebody who just asks you to sanitize your hand?
Yeah.
Like I literally watch a man cuss off another man because the guy asked him to sanitize his hand. And then I you know how I just watch people when I vex. Well, man, if you ever see it. But I dead ass watching him in his face and he was like, Miss, what happened? I said, you know how stupid you sound? Like, I was fully ready to cuss this man in front of everybody in Lucky's. Because why are you being rude?
I'm glad our listeners have seen this side of Jay today.
Yeah.
Continue, please.
No, I don't care. I hate people who are rude to people unnecessarily.
You're right, though.
And it's not like he asked him in a rude, like he said, Mr. come sanitize your hand. He was like, Mr. you have to sanitize your hand. The man cussed him, every store I go in and sanitize my hand and some of your house just dirty. And I'm like,
what does the house have to do with you sanitizing your hand?
But like Amali said, just don't come in.
Exactly.
That's my thing too. But then here's the caveat to it all.
You don't want to say this? I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to say this. Step outside, please.
Yeah, that's the caveat. You now tell them they're not allowed entry into your establishment for not doing what your establishment is mandated to do by the higher authorities. They're gonna cuss even more.
I wish the people who actually run Lucky's was like, well, since you can't sanitize your hand, you have to
which
step
is something
outside.
I think they need to start doing. I think
Yes.
companies and entities and all these places need to start being comfortable refusing entry for people. Well,
I just gonna say I was a choice.
I've never seen it. I've never seen them
because most
refuse
times
entry.
people do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
Eventually, right? But the truth is, I've been to places where I legit walking in.
Once.
I'm legit walking into the place and just forgot my mask. And then I'm like, excuse me, sir, you can't come in without a mask.
And I'm sure you abuse them and tell them how the house
You just went back and get your mask.
I just okay.
Yeah, you went back and get your mask. Or if you don't have a mask, you just didn't go.
Because I knew if I didn't have the mask, they wasn't gonna let me in.
And the thing is, it's not like
it wasn't a negotiation. Like,
yeah, I
but
did
not
see
only
that.
that.
I just want to make the order quick and.
It's not nothing new. Why are you upset because people are trying to keep you safe, sir?
No, they're not upset about that. They're upset with the situation.
Yeah.
And they take out their frustration in the
on
wrong
others.
places. That's
Couldn't
what
be
going
me,
on.
because I would have lost my job in Lucky's that day. Quickly.
Yeah, but I just do what you're supposed to do. You it's.
I don't care that. I don't care that much. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to be ridiculous, I mean, yeah, I don't. I got this kind of thing. I don't let people's their nature get me out of my nature.
Right.
I really just don't care enough. Like what you say.
You want to do what you need to do. Just don't come
you
in.
just can't come in.
That's all.
Yeah, you just can't come in. Okay.
But the ignorance lives in other places. Like I remember when I was working in the bank, to change a check, if you were not a customer of the bank, you have to present 2 IDs because we have no record of your stuff. And come in, some of them have no IDs, I want to change the check. You need to present 2 IDs. Oh, watch me ID here. Watch me face here. And I used to ask, so what exactly does your face tell me?
You don't see the number,
No,
the name, everything.
No, like what does your face tell me? Because look my face here, but my name is Amali. Who is for you to tell me it's not? Because look my face here.
I know Jada, watch it. As you know, Kramer, you know what Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Yeah, but at time Kramer, somebody leave tickets to a baseball game by the ticket booth for Kramer. And Kramer went to the ticket booth and said, yeah, I made the tickets two tickets for Kramer. And he was like, do you have an ID, sir? And Kramer said, just look at me. Can't you tell I'm Kramer?
The nonsense y'all act.
How am I supposed to?
Right?
So anybody could come in the bank with Jay Johnson's check and change it because they're gonna watch their face and say, look me here, look my ID here.
You can't see physically. That's dead.
No, because your birth doctor forgot to tattoo your name on your forehead.
Oh, darn! It's an issue with the hospital.
So it's an issue with the hospital because they're forgetting to tattoo people's names on their forehead when they were born.
And date of birth and
everything.
Reference number, all them things.
And your
that is on
address.
your ID.
You know, an interchangeable card on your forehead. Stupidness. Well, let's talk about our favorite regional airline, Liat.
Wow.
Well, we know who ain't gonna fly on that airline anymore. So
no, say you're going later.
Uncle Gaston listening, you know. But so Liat is now introducing a new baggage policy, which was effective November 30th, when it returns to commercial service. And while customers are still allowed to carry a small carry-on, the personal item for free. So carry-on is your regular small suitcase. A personal item is considered a backpack, a purse, or anything in that realm. Backpack, purse kind of thing. You know, a laptop bag, a messenger bag that's considered a personal item. But their first check bag will now cost $10.
So I got to pay to last my bag now. Okay.
But initially it was free. The first check bag was free.
Yeah, it's been that way forever.
Forever,
Yeah,
but now
this was coming. All the
airlines have done it. I was still surprised that when I flew, I haven't flown on Liat in a while because I kind of had no reason to fly to Liat for living in the States. When I did fly Liat for the first time in a long time, I was still surprised that they actually did the first bag for free.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I'm like,
very few airlines.
All these airlines charging you this lot of money for the first bag and Liat still doing it for free. No wonder they went under. Because honestly, had they been doing that, they probably would have been getting a lot more revenue because most people travel with a check bag, because people don't know how to pack light.
No, but I mean the truth is most intra-regional travel happens it's standard state.
Yeah.
Like, most intra-regional travel, like within the region, like people don't go to different
They
islands.
hop
like,
around for a while.
Like,
yeah.
Very few
I would.
businessmen, for instance, and most people travel and they go for like a couple of days. So, I mean, it's especially lucrative now for the fact that it's pretty much safe to say that anybody that's traveling, they're going to the destination for at least 14 days.
Yeah.
So
essentially. So you're gonna need some clothes.
Yeah.
So the first bag is now $10 and the second checked bag will now cost $60. And the airline said these prices will apply for both ways, which is a given. So but you still have to say it.
All this money to last your bag. So I hope when.
That's never lost my bag. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something, right?
I don't think I never.
They never lost mine, but I've seen somebody's bag. Like when I went to St. Lucia Carnival. We were on a flight with some people from Antigua. Like we stopped over in Antigua and then we was going to St. Lucia, and they had fets the night. So the girls came with the bags and everything. Only to reach to St. Lucia and send the bag to somebody else's country.
Yeah, that happened.
How are you sending the literally just left the airport?
All airlines. It's every airline
is happening. The amount of bags.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the bags end up in.
The amount of bags.
But what I make sure to do though, when I travel, I always make sure that I have at least 2 days worth of clothes in my carry-on. because I've had lost bags before, and I've missed flights that my bags were on.
Yeah, you weren't on the flight.
Yeah, and I wasn't on the flight, so my bags won't leave me. So I always try to make sure I have like 2 days worth of clothes in my bag, but that includes everything. Like 2 days of socks, 2 days of underwear, 2 days of
socks and underwear and a shirt.
And a shirt, because whatever pants I'm wearing, I could wear it again. But 2 days of whatever.
Person who have to tell somebody else that your bag
You got bad enough?
Yeah, you get some.
They just get watered.
Yeah,
and for things they ain't even do.
To tell me
Imagine my job is just to check you in and you abuse me for losing your bag.
You know what the feeling is? You know you know what I feel horrible? When you're at the carousel and you're just watching everybody
take up their bag and go.
And you're waiting for your one. And then
you
you go ask the man like, any more bags behind you?
The man say, where you get them from?
No, this is it for the night.
Oh, that was it. That's all.
That's all. And then you're just like, oh, okay. So it's either one, somebody got my bag, or two, my bag never show up.
No, but the worst thing with that now is that you come on the last flight somewhere, so by the time they send you to the to the check-in counter to see the airline
Counter
reps,
closed.
they don't go home.
Counter closed.
That happened to me once in my life. I came home for vacation and I came back like the next day. But my time, I had some family coming from Canada, right? They came to spend a month. I didn't get it back till they were leaving here.
And be able in the airport, the airline gives you vouchers to purchase.
That day was waffle.
Things. They will give you money to buy clothes because they lost your stuff.
Bags several places, but
yeah. But then there's some people who just don't get their bags at all.
Yeah, there are some people who never get their bag from 1997.
Yeah, who just never get back their bag because
where is it?
Because that's the problem too. It ends up in the wrong country. So let's say let's say I'm going to Miami, but my bag is end up in New York. Ends up in New York, goes on the carousel, and they're just spinning around and around. Somebody's like, okay, this bag ain't being taken. I gone with it. So then now when I file my report to say my bag missing and they're looking for it, it's not there.
It might show up in Miami. It might show up in New York, and they just never came back.
Right, and then
never recovered.
Right, so.
Oh boy, that's rough.
But that happened. That happened last year. I was traveling with some people, and we get to the hotel, and when the dude opened his bag,
Yeah, that too. Take up the wrong suitcase. That happened daily, multiple times a day, all over the world.
Imagine you take up a bag full of drugs.
Well, then I don't think you're the one who locked out.
I mean, you're the one locked out. If you
make
you're
the one who right.
If you make it to the airport,
then you now got some drugs to sell. Boost your income.
So you turn into Pablo?
Every day I'm hustling.
But if I feel drugs, so easy to sell, right?
No, they're very.
A suitcase of it.
Made him know to do it.
You got next thing coming here.
But
we wouldn't know.
They're gonna raise so many red flags before you even find somebody who say, yeah, I want it.
I don't even know how to do that.
I wouldn't care enough.
You ask one question and the next day, someone kicking your door on the floor.
Like hypothetically, right? If I happen to have a bag full of cocaine, what do I do with it?
I got one.
I leave it. I put yeah.
You
But
know what?
the thing is too,
If I come to you and said to you that you're
most of the times your bags have on your address of where you're going. Most of the times your bags have on your address of where you're going. So if that wrong person took your bag, and you goes with that person bag, the person have your address and they know how to get to you.
No, I literally leave on the top of my bag.
Yeah, just leave something.
I leave the address. I leave the address of where I'm going.
Yeah, me too.
So if somebody opens the bag, the address is right there.
I will leave my address
that's what I do.
on the bag, and then what I also do is I also tag it with something like things. But sometimes they burst off and.
Some people just go overboard with that.
Yeah, the tagging.
I see actually some people got like 20 million ribbons from the daughter preschool.
Right, and all over their bag.
On their bag, it just be like, yo, you.
You remember when the man got saved because he had his tie on his bag?
Yeah, and
so
the tie.
Y'all better put out 20 million ribbons.
He didn't have the tie, and then when he got it, he had on a tie.
Oh, I thought he was the opposite.
Which means they tag the bag to flag it, to mark it as this is the bag we're gonna load with the drugs.
Bye.
And he got saved because the cameras
saw when he dropped it off.
It dropped off with no tag, and when received on the other end, it had a tag on it.
Oh, okay.
So the man was probably just trying to like literally just take it back.
Yeah.
Like the man was just gonna take it back. He was gonna reach, and his bag wasn't gonna be on the carousel. And they don't know the bag is.
But what I do, I actually bought very flamboyant luggage. Like if you see my luggage, you'll feel it belongs to a woman.
But
a
he's
whole
right.
machine set with flowers and so, pink flowers and so.
But you're right, because those are harder to lose. Those are harder for
But
somebody to
I
lose.
just made that one time.
That's a good point,
When
because
you come
when I got
on-
my black suitcase,
Everybody's suitcase black or blue or brown, and then you see this one riddle with flowers coming around the corner and say,
yeah, that's it.
Just deal.
My suitcase is like basically my home away from home. Yeah, my closet here. So like, I got all kind of things in place to try and think. I got my bag up in a tile, so I could literally trap
my bag's
from
got in
anywhere in
tiles
the
too.
world. Like my bag having the scanner, like I have a Tumi bag, so it's like, so anywhere in the world they could scan it and know who the owner is. You got all my contact information, secondary contact, like.
Yeah,
You serious?
my bag's got in tiles.
My bag's got in tiles?
You know the tiles,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, my bags. I have tile on my keys.
I got tile in my backpack. I got tile in my suitcase.
Yep. That's one thing I
That's
do.
how it is,
I bought tiles to put in my bags because if I
How long the battery them the last?
a year,
Yeah, over a year.
a year, and then there's a replacement
How
program.
you gonna know when the battery then?
It tells
It
you.
tells you.
On the app?
Yeah.
The app will tell you that your battery is
The battery
running
there.
low.
What kind of battery does take?
Little circular one.
The little circular ones.
Like a watch battery?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get them by
here.
thing. I get them by
By Dupont?
Yeah, this is the battery. And this is the key one, but then there's you could throw this in your bag, but there's also bigger ones which I prefer for traveling because I just feel like it's more reliable for a suitcase.
But no, like what I'm saying is like my bag itself.
It has
a
scanner.
Scanner on it.
Oh.
So anybody could just if you take your phone and put it up to it,
It'll bring up
just
information.
all the information, like who to call and everything.
Yeah.
That's vibes.
A picture of you wearing some
What someone told me to do, which I still haven't done, is to print a QR code sticker and stick it on the back of my bag. For the same reason, you scan the QR code, my information comes up. But I've yet to do it because I just lazy. I mean, I make no
like, and I
QR
tell you,
code.
people take up the wrong bag. Like I saw that happen to like the person I was traveling with, and like since that, I literally just put that like just like a little info card. Like you just have where you're going. And my name, and so anybody could call me anytime. Like, yo, I got your bag.
But if you want to take up my bags, I always look at the tag to see my name on it.
Yeah. I do that.
I never take out my bag, even when I got my flower bag, I just still.
You
Because
check
one time I went to the airport and I had a suitcase there, my name.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents laughed after me. He said, "You see, you buy this fruity looking bag to differentiate, and I said somebody got the same bag."
And then
I said, "Yeah, but it's only two of them. How many bags in here?"
Yeah, but they're supposed to scoop up that one first and walk out.
I wouldn't catch the name.
You check the name. You check the name.
But just protect your bags. Oh wait, let me read the rest of the article.
I was about to ask how we even get here.
That's
man.
what we
Like,
was doing, eh?
So let me read the whole thing of that whole portion of it. So the second bag is cost $60 and the airline said that the prices will apply for both ways. So that's
10 to 60.
that's what I said. It was a huge jump.
Well, the first checked bag
But
is 10.
I
Second
appreciate
checked
the 10.
bag
I
is 60.
appreciate the 10,
Um,
because some
but where
places
do you?
25.
American Airlines,
It's 25 and then 50.
no, it gone up.
What 30 and 50?
It gone up. Last time I traveled home,
Okay,
it
ain't
went
by
up.
then, ain't by then. Because the first one so
The
low.
first one so low that it
Yeah.
make the second
What they're doing
one
is
sense.
encouraging you to travel with one bag.
Right. Then so it's $20 round trip and 120 round trip. But I'm wondering though, is it 10 plus 60? Or
60
is
for the
it-
second
Yeah,
bag.
you'll have to pay
So it's
60.
17 all.
Yeah, so 17 all. Okay.
Yeah, we have a call.
Wait.
Sorry.
So infants who are ticketed separately and have a reserved seat are entitled to pay for the first bag. The allowance of £50 per person. The maximum overall size per piece will be 62 inches. So the regular suitcase. We have a call. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My
No,
friend.
making me friend wait.
My friend.
Good morning, my friend. No, it seems like the airline wants people to travel wear all your clothes on your back and just go with your clothes on you because then 60 US a bag, that is a whole lot.
It is.
I mean, we pay what? I think 25 or 30, somewhere like that, and it's expensive. And number one, remember, us Caribbean people, we traveling, especially you coming from away, as we say. You have to have a lot of stuff because everybody coming. What did you bring for me? What did you bring for me? What did you bring for me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we end up with a lot of bags. So imagine you have 4 bags, and when we travel with all the kids.
I don't think I'm going to
So you have to pay for all these luggage. That is expensive. But about the lost bag, you shouldn't lose your bag because remember that is the reason why you give you a ticket. So people should not be grabbing the wrong bag. Before you leave the airport, check your ticket with your bag.
Yep.
I mean, I can say only one day time I ever traveled and I did not get my bag. And let me tell you, it was the worst bag not to get. It was my bag with my fish. I believe the airline, I believe they took my fish. They took all those nice Egyptian fish.
So you never got it back? You never got it back?
But you want it back, Kevon?
Never got my bag or my fish.
You want back that?
Yeah.
I'm calling.
They smell you smell your Caribbean
But
fish
the man
and
throw it in the
say,
garbage, yo. The man say, what's that stench?
Man, they smell that good fish. That good, as in Jamaica, we say, good up fish. They smell the fish and I believe they kept my fish. That's the only bag I did not get was my fish because we reached late the night from St. Kitts to New York and I live in Connecticut. So my suitcase, I think 2 of my bags did not come, but the next day my suitcase showed up at my house. I drove it from New York to my house, put it at with my fish. Where's my frozen fish? Where's my bag with my nice frozen? Oh, for days, no fish. Yeah, that whole island was nice fish. But in any case, you guys have a wonderful day.
All right, you too.
All right.
But so let's make this. So using American Airlines, which is what most people use to leave, to enter and leave the country internationally, is American Airlines' first checked bag is $30 US. The second checked bag is $40 US. Third check bag, if you feel like going so far, is $150 US.
Yeah.
And any bag after that.
So it's the same for that then?
It's
The same
200.
years if you have two bags.
Right. But then, the good part about it is that the first check bag is solo. Because sometimes you just need
That's the same. It's in the bag.
I have never taken more than one bag anywhere I went in my life.
The only time I've ever traveled.
Coming back. We're not coming back.
Well, yeah, the only time I ever travel with more than one check bag is if I bring in things for people.
Yeah, I don't usually
my
leave.
family gifts and stuff.
Yeah. I don't usually leave with more than
I
one
make
bag.
sure I buy things that go fit in my suitcase. Me buying a big thing for nobody.
Who say buying it?
me bring it back a big thing for nobody.
Man, it ain't that big thing. A lot of times it's just a weight situation.
The biggest thing I ever bought in a suitcase was like a subwoofer for a car stereo.
So that was the whole suitcase, half of it.
No,
but you see the thing is now, it's what you have to understand is you're playing a game at this point. A lot of time the bag's in full, but it's cheaper to pay for the extra bag
than to go
overweight.
Yeah, big time.
So that's how you.
I have a scale. One of them things you lift up and so.
Yeah.
Plus I could guesstimate it too. I'm very good at that.
I don't play that game.
I could lift a bag and say this is overweight or this is underweight.
Yeah, I could get close, but yeah, sometimes you reach to this thing and you got that person who like that 2 pounds.
They got the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
The ones
they're
who
2
will
pounds.
see 51 and
51 and be
okay.
like, you got to take out that.
And then somebody see 50.2. We need to take out something, and it's like, sir.
Damn to me on time, I just take out some jean pants and put them in my carry-on.
Just take out a Shirley biscuit.
Yo, pants heavy bad enough.
Bad.
Yep.
That's
like
why I travel with
packing,
heavy
right,
things is in my carry-on. But
packing is an art. Like when I packing, I put all my jean pants and my shoes. I put all my long pants and my shoes in my carry-on, my backpack and my duffel bag. My suitcase literally only has t-shirts in it along the way.
Yeah.
So it hold a lot.
I think for me, like, it'll be rough because I carry so much. Sometimes I carry a lot of equipment and things like that. So my carry-on is a hard case with like equipment. So it's that and my backpack.
With a drone.
So everything going in my suitcase. But when I travel for work, I generally travel light. Like me going party and thing, I just want a lot of black shirts, pretty much. A lot of black t-shirts. That's it.
Yeah, bye.
It's time for a break. So we're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we will jump into some conversation with our guest. We'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
He can move mountains.
Church Calling, the radio voice of the St. Kitts Christian Council, on Sundays from 7 to 8 p.m. on Win FM. Listen to recommendations for your physical, spiritual, and mental health. Call in and ask your questions or make your suggestions. It's our ministry, so let's participate. Church Calling, Sundays 7 to 8 p.m. Win FM 98.9, winfm.com.
Keep me in the valley.
Keep me in the valley.
Hide me from the rain.
Hide me from the rain.
My God is awesome.
When they start them there, we are top man, we take charge. Have no drink and we are shell down hard. Blast like a star with some Galapagos. Overdo it, we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man then. Wine with the style, no stop from spend. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine for the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
Don't you rock my boat, 'cause I don't want my boat to be rocking. Oh please, don't you rock my boat, no, no, 'cause I don't want my boat to be rocking. I'm telling you that I like it like this. So keep it steady like this. And you should know by now. I like it like this. I like it like this. Ooh yeah. Satisfy my soul. Oh yeah. Satisfy my soul. Every little action. There's a reaction. Oh, can't you see what you did for me?
It's not bad.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali. And again, if you hear us off air and during the breaks, you'll be
appalled.
Be very appalled. But we are back, and we are jumping into our segment Eat Local with De-Syl Hamilton. Welcome.
And right now, De-Syl is going to take charge. So this of the show.
You know, you beat me to the pun. Yeah, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me. Definitely.
Why are you here?
Why am I here?
No, before we get to that, we have to do what we normally do.
Who are you?
Yeah. We need to ask you, as usual, for the listeners and viewers, tell us who you are. No, white. Who you are and what it is you do.
Yeah, I'm De-Syl Hamilton. Jade has me written down as an activist.
Yes.
I'm a hospitality and tourism major. I'm doing my BSc in that. I'm not working as much, I guess now because of COVID, in the hospitality and tourism industry. Lime Restaurant and Tours. We do, food, tour services in Nevis. COVID sucks, definitely.
You work at Lime Bar?
Yeah.
And restaurant?
Yeah.
One of the best?
Yeah.
Oh, Jade.
I wanted to interrupt you for a reason. Are you here to talk about Lime Bar?
They ask me who I be, sir. I need to put in a plug. I need more people coming to the.
What's going on with Jade to the back?
I need to put in a plug.
You don't have to ramp me up on the ear.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Good.
Jamie,
All
your fellow sisters in the sanctuary.
Continue telling us who you are and what it is you do.
Yeah, so I have a bit more time on my hands because of COVID-19. But I've always been active, I guess, social media, conversation, just in general about sexual assault, sexual abuse, and stuff like that. And one of the major things that I want to see here is reform in terms of law, legislation in terms of the society response and stuff like that when it comes to those kind of crimes. So recently we've had a lot of stir, especially since COVID, because there has been an increase in domestic abuse and sexual assault and stuff like that here in the Federation and around the world globally when it comes to gender-based violence. And I decided, hey, I can't just sit down here and continue the trend that everybody usually does, talk, no action. So I decided that on Thursday mornings between the hours of 10 and 11, I'd go and stand in front of the office of one of our legislators in Nevis, which is the premier. I thought that was fitting. He usually has an open forum. Yeah. He usually has an open forum where persons can come in on Thursdays, sit with him, speak about any issue or whatnot. So I decided, okay, well, people are going to go and see him. So then that means people are going to see me before they go and see him. And so that they're going to see my little placard and see that this issue is something that I think we should be talking about more. We should be doing more stuff with, and we should be protecting our women and children, which is what the initial poster had. So yeah, I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks. I've committed to doing it for 4 weeks. I'm going to be there again on Thursday and the following Thursday. And ever since it happened, it's been like a whirlwind, I guess. It was just me the first day because I didn't tell anybody about it. Sometimes I think that we expect to have this big party. We make big plans with people. We want to go on a vacation, we want to go on a cruise, and then the time come around and nobody is there. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to skip all of that and I'm just going to go. And so I did. And, I shared a picture on social media and it kind of went viral in a sense. A lot of persons reached out to me with their personal stories and stuff like that. And, they're saying, I'm glad that somebody's standing up. I'm glad somebody's speaking out. And it's just been amazing. Last week, we had some teachers from one of the schools in Nevis joining me. And so we were there. We had some more placards. We were the 25th started the 16 days of activism against gender violence, Paint the Wall Orange. That's the theme for this year. So, we were there. We were partaking in that. And, the movement. One of the things a lot of people were, asking about, what is it that I'm advocating for, I'm being an activist for. And one of the things that I've been talking about a lot is the Sexual Offenders Registry, which I think would do wonders here in St. Kitts and Nevis. One of the reasons for it is that it helps to reduce repeat offenses, one. It's a social safeguard. So, the offenders are known, so people know, okay, well, be wary around this individual when it comes to your kids or when it comes to your women. Men are still, but women and children are usually the more vulnerable group when it comes to sexual assault. And we can also have regional and international integration of it because St. Kitts and Nevis isn't the only place that has sex offenders. A sex offender can travel from the United States of America. They can come here and live in total
harmony.
Exactly.
With your harmony.
Right.
Not always.
But then, the what I think, the important part is the registry will also restrict these individuals from being in certain areas with certain people. So, not just who to look out for, but then, they wouldn't be allowed in school zones. Do we even have school zones here?
That's hard to do in St. Kitts,
Right, because...
just to get from country to town, you got to pass about 5 schools.
7 schools.
You're going to live in the hills, by.
Yeah, you're going to live in the hills.
Well, there's restrictions to it. You can't be in that area for a certain amount of time.
Exactly.
And,
certain square footage.
Certain square footage because, the zoning situation, you'll end up living in the crater.
Yeah, so that's one of the things for me. Me personally, I'm all about society and societal change, and not just legislation, because legislation is important because we need the system to work. One of the reasons that we don't have as much reporting as we should, because UNICEF, the UN, a lot of places have done studies here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and one of the problems that we have is reporting. People don't trust the system. People don't trust the system because they've seen other persons gone through the system. They've seen how long it takes to get justice. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, case ain't called, police ain't doing nothing. You know, all of these kind of things are happening. So we need to strengthen our system. You know, so that's where the legislation comes in place. But we also need to strengthen our society's response. That's where, you know, the shaming and stuff of the victim needs to be lessened, and the protection of the perpetrator needs to, you know, be lessened as well. And it's not that you want the guy to be ridiculed or shamed into exile and, you know, maybe commit suicide or whatever it is.
Why
But no, they need to be rehabilitated. You know, and people might think, you know, why not? Because sexual crimes are like really high on the list of crimes and felonies. It's like ranked up there with murder and stuff like that. And rape lasts with somebody forever. But at the same time, you know, we're all humans and we all make mistakes. It's a human rights issue. It's not a political issue. So everybody, both the victim and the perpetrator, needs to be supported so that we can have some sense of, you know, safety. I believe in terms of, there are a lot of people that ask me, oh, how should people go on the registry? How long they should be on the registry? I don't have all the answers. And I'm not a legal professional, but I believe we can take from registries that are already existing in the Caribbean, like Trinidad, Belize, or Jamaica. They have those already. And we can look at them and we can craft from them a bill that works for us. You know? So we take into consideration how our society works. Because look at our laws. Our age of consent is 16 compared to other places where it's 18 and stuff like that. So obviously, we're crafting laws here that works for us. So to say that a sexual offenders registry can't work here because we're small, we're this and we're that, society this and that, no.
That's even more reason to have one.
Exactly, exactly. Because these offenders are here and...
They wait outside the door.
Right outside the door, they actually wait. Well, not this room.
They're inside the building too. We're not this building.
But not this building.
Yeah.
Figuratively speaking.
Yeah, figuratively speaking.
They're in the same buildings as you.
Let me rephrase. See, they can be inside your building.
They can be inside your building. They're you know, they're in your community. They're on the same bus that you're sending.
They're teaching our children in school.
They're teaching your children. They're on the same bus you're sending your children on. They're in the same. They're serving you food.
They're driving the bus to children on.
But
Can be. They can be driving. What we're saying is that they can be anywhere.
Allegedly, yeah.
Right.
They can be anywhere, allegedly. And the thing, too, is, you know, society's outlook on these sexual offenders, because a lot of the times you're in conversation with other young men and stuff like that, and the busmen, them talking about all the schoolgirls, them that they're going around and having sexual intercourse with, like, who we supposed to be boasting about. No, they ain't hiding. People out there ain't hiding that they're having sex with underage children, and that is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And as men here, we have to take more responsibility, you know, when it comes to that. But we've lived in a society where these kind of issues and these kind of talk have become normative. So it's like nothing. You don't know that you're actually doing something wrong. So whereas, you know, you might not have been doing this if you knew it was wrong. You're here, you know, partaking because it's probably easier to be with an underage girl than a big woman, because the big woman wants to be impressed by house and land, and the little girl just wants KFC, you know, and a bus ride. So,
and then, you know, there's the other side to it as well. Like, you know,
what is happening?
You know, there's the other side to it as well. Like, you know, the individuals know that they're wrong. What they're doing is wrong, but there's no one that has ever faced social consequences for being wrong.
Yeah.
So they just keep doing it anyway.
Exactly, and that's why we need reform, and that's why we need more people to be active and, you know, take part in the activism process. And activism is just you telling your lawmakers that, you know, this is our society now. That might have been society then, and that might have been fine then, but we've grown. I mean, it's 2020. The way how our laws are set up in terms of rape and stuff like that is ridiculous. Number one, a guy can't get raped, even though we know a lot of young boys are being molested and stuff like that and being taken advantage of. And these things are ridiculous. Like, how is it in 2020? This is our generation. We're looking at what's happening in America. We're seeing #MeToo. We're seeing Black Lives Matter. So we know what what civic responsibility is and how other countries deal with it and how their legislators deal with it. But here we're just going to want to sit down and maybe have a conversation here and there, just talk about it, and then nothing comes of it. The Youth Parliament had a debate on a sexual harassment bill, recently, and Minister Powell was in Parliament, and one of the things he says that this is a controversial topic that's really talked about. Why? Come on. Aren't we intelligent human beings? This shouldn't be a controversial. This shouldn't be a controversial topic that we really talk about. This should be something that we don't even have to worry. I shouldn't have to go, and it seems like a big deal that I'm standing outside the Premier's ministry, because it shouldn't be necessary. It should have been fixed already.
But I think this is something that we discuss on this show many times. As a country, we are emotionally immature.
Oh yes, very much so.
As a society, we are emotionally immature. You bring up something seriously with somebody, and they shut down and they start to argue and things because they have no idea how to process it.
Right.
And they also don't
not only that, we're not very articulate, and so just by not being articulate, having conversations are difficult.
Very difficult.
People can't express themselves.
They have no idea.
People just cannot express themselves.
I have a question for you. Do you know of any instances anywhere in the world where a sex offender, whether it be somebody who was troubling kids or rape, whoever, whether it be molestation or actual rape, have been, what is the word when you go through rehabilitation?
Yeah,
rehabilitated.
Yeah.
I don't know any specific. I can't
and
put
then,
specific.
And then, how do you measure it? How do you know when somebody's rehabilitated from?
No, but it's
mental health professional.
No, but it's similar to addiction. When you go to because, for instance,
6 months clean.
No. But no, but creating. I think what happens is a process, right? This is the issue. The issue is that a lot of people who commit a lot of these types of crimes have been victims themselves.
Yep.
And so the idea of alienating people only speaks to one part of the issue. One part of the issue is that we have to create a society where people feel comfortable enough to come forward and say, this is what happened to me, victims. Right? I think a lot of the times we don't recognize a lot of the perpetrators are victims as well.
Yes.
So we have to create a situation where every victim feels comfortable enough to come and say, this is what happened.
To tell a story, yeah.
Right. And so once you start from that point, then the issue of rehabilitation is not something that happens 20 years down the line when you done hurt 20 different people or 100 different people and things. It's something that starts at the point at which you were wrong.
You were abused.
Right, you were abused. And so it does not, so you don't end up in a situation where, like you say, a lot of this becomes normalized and thing, and because it's repeat abuses. Like a lot of times the repeat abuse is like over time, you cope in certain ways, and it shifts the way that you view sexuality, views the ways that you view.
Right.
Yeah. So
and that's why I asked the question because earlier you mentioned that people would ask, well, how long is somebody supposed to stay on the list, right? And then you also mentioned that in terms of the healing and the rehabilitation on both sides, the victim and the perpetrator, right? So you say you don't have all the answers. I don't have the answers either, right? I don't think any lawmaker has the answer either. It's something that has to evolve over time.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
And between a lot of stakeholders, eh?
Yeah.
Yes. But we can't not do anything. And I think that's important. Let's start with putting something on the books, and then it evolves from
It might fail.
It might fail.
But then you know what don't work.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think that's where we fall short here in the Federation. Then there are allies for it. There's the Caribbean Caribbean Committee Against Sex Crimes. They're a non-profit organization located in Trinidad and Tobago. They work with another non-profit organization in the United States of America. They're willing to offer support to us, financial and otherwise. So I have not yet sit down with the parliamentarians, because I said, you know what, let me finish the activism and then I'll go into the meetings, because I know how the meeting side of it works here. Everybody knows.
Great idea.
Yes.
We'll get back to you.
Okay.
Right.
I'm so glad you said it and not me. But yeah, so I said, let me finish this paper. So there are allies. There are allies out there. There are other NGOs that want to get on board. I don't have a name for the movement yet, but I don't think it necessarily needs a name. It's a country thing, So we just all need to get on board. We know what the issue is. The issue is sexual offenses. We want the sex offenders registry. We want societal reform, we want legal reform. So, that's it straight up and in a nutshell. But I want to, one of the producers raised an interesting point when we were talking about the rehabilitation, and I want to ask everybody in here a question. I asked Kevon last kind about it. Amali, if you have a...
Lord, just ask us something generally speaking.
You ask me what?
I'll ask you last. Have you ever suffered with any mental health issue?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to therapy?
No.
Behind there?
There's two.
I have. I actively seek therapy, yes.
Wait, last one.
Of course, I've had mental health issues. I'm having a mental breakdown right now.
Usually,
Are you going to therapy after?
I was waiting for it, eh?
Yeah.
Will you go to therapy after the show?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Unless you call like exercise therapy, but
that is therapy.
That is how I probably would seek my.
But I think you're speaking about
professional help.
Professional help, yes,
No.
Kevon.
Yes and yes.
Yes. Okay, great. You see, because that's the thing, we don't respect mental health here, and seeking therapy and stuff like that, and it's necessary.
It's seen as taboo, yeah.
It's seen as taboo. People are afraid to go in because people might think you're crazy. So you'd prefer to be outside, sick as hell, or inside and maybe getting better?
Bro, I mean, look at it, right? There are people who, as normalized as it is in society, still don't even go to doctors for physical ailments. So then you have something like mental health, which is already taboo and misunderstood, misclassified. People are very much against going to somebody to help with that side of you. But if you treat your physical illnesses, why wouldn't you treat your mental illnesses as well?
But then we talk it to all our friends, not just 1, 2, and 3, because we ensure who to get the answers from. And then when you hear his story on the part, it's mental health professional tell people. But you've been doing it, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it's true. Man, it's a whole systemic thing, because even when you're talking about the sexual offenses and stuff like that, like my issue is like, and a lot of the things that you're saying, like I'm right on board with. We might have different views on how we should be executed, and that is fine. That's why we have to have these conversations. But my concern and primary concern as it relates to the sexual offenses is successful prosecution of perpetrators. One of the issues that I have is that everybody seems to know these people, but how they can get on a list if they never been convicted of anything, right? And so what happens a lot of times, and this is something that bothers me deeply, is that as we just say locally, they make up the case outside. So, somebody do something to whatever, you threaten them with something and tell them you want X amount of money, and the case they come, they pay you 12,000, 20,000, how much money you want, and then it kind of just goes away, right? And so it doesn't even get to the point where this person has faced any real consequences, has even been put in a position to receive rehabilitation, never mind getting placed on a list. And I think, and not only that, in a lot of cases, for instance, where especially in underage situations, where parents are involved in the cover-up, are involved in the solicitation and stuff like that, like for some reason they never really get any punishment in terms of, so it's like, how does this play into the whole conversation? But it's a conversation that needs to be had.
But do you know what a major part of this issue is as well, especially in a small society like ours, and other small nations as well. The Nevises and the Antiguas and the Anguillas, etc. Right? Is that many of the people who are in a position to make change are perpetrators as well.
themselves.
So
right.
if they jump up and start saying, "Oh, we have to do this and we have to do that,"
there's the first second in jail.
But if I see De-Syl face just now when I said that,
and it's sad, but it's true. And let me read this comment we have on the live. So someone is saying we also need to start educating our kids in school about the inappropriate circumstances like touching and stuff. A major problem. Oh, we have a call. Let's take the call. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning again.
Good morning.
My friend. I am listening, right? And the thing about this, I mean, the sex offenders list, I think years ago, like maybe 2 years ago, I suggested that it needed one, especially like when Pandora's box will open up and our country will open up to all in Sunday, everybody come. I said we should have a sex offenders list because you don't know where people coming from. You don't know what they did in their country and they're coming now. Right. Like you said, teaching our children, being around our children.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing now about, he asked a question about mental health and do you go for therapy? I mean, number one, in the Caribbean and especially small country like ours, people are afraid to go to sit down and tell someone their problem. You're even scared to go to the doctor because there's no oh God, my tongue tied.
Confidentiality.
Yes, my tongue tied right now. But before you leave the doctor office, all your business is on the street because the secretary or whoever done call the friend. And that is the problem with small island like ours.
Confidentiality is lacking.
Yeah, there's no confidentiality. People afraid to go and hear the problem. Can you imagine you go in and you sit down with your therapist and you say, my father sexually abused me, my father touched me in this way and that way. And can you reach home, all your business is on the street.
Yeah.
So that alone deter you from going and sitting down and telling anybody your business. That is why a lot of people suffer in silence. They prefer to suffer in silence.
Yeah, and you can't blame them.
Have a good day.
All right.
Carla, I had about a 2-hour-long conversation with my cousin about that same confidentiality issue, and I kind of want to address it in the sense that I think, like Kevon was saying, we need to have the persons responsible take responsibility. If people think that maybe you're being abused, and then they see you going into a therapist, and the secretary said, "Why is she coming here? Wherever." If you're the person on the receiving end of that, you should be able to call the therapist, tell the therapist, well, hey, somebody from your office just leak X, Y, and Z information. Because sometimes when the therapist say anything, because I really want to have faith in a therapist. I have a therapist.
Most of the times, I want to say that it's hardly ever the professional that does the chit chatting. It's always some other staff in the building.
Yeah, because shushu goes around, so people put together and piece together shushu and make up a story. Yeah. So. But when that does happen, though, that person should be fired.
Right. I was actually speaking to a psychologist. I was actually speaking to a psychologist about this a while back, and we talked about the fact that there is no consequence anywhere for breaching confidentiality agreements. Banks don't have that, at least to my knowledge. I can go and tell my friend what I seen in a client's balance was yesterday and how he get a transfer from his friends for this amount.
Generally, they get terminated.
Generally, but then how often does that happen? There's no reporting system. Then, it's the same example.
The thing is, it don't get back to you that your confidentiality has been breached. Right. That's the issue.
Then, let's say, the therapist, the secretary go on shushu, and it's always coming from the secretary. There's no, there's no proper consequence for the breach of confidentiality. And for that same reason, this confidentiality doesn't exist in St. Kitts. It's all your business is everywhere, no matter where you try to do business.
Sometimes, not always.
Is a perfect storm here, of many factors that
we
this thing.
We can fix it.
Yes, we're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to extend the time for a bit more, because this conversation is very important and something that needs to be had. So let's take a very short break, and we'll come back with more L&T.
Management of Amali Bakery would like to thank our customers and the general public for your support over the past 71 years. Now, During these difficult financial times, it is our turn to show our appreciation and support to you, our dear customers. We have some good news. During the hours of 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. on Mondays to Saturdays and 5 p.m. to closing time on Mondays to Saturdays, all baked goods, including selected pastries, will be offered at buy one, get the second one free. This special offer will continue until December 31st, 2020. We take the opportunity to send the best wishes to everyone in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you, and God bless you all.
It's official! Friday, December 18th and Saturday, December 19th are VAT days. But you can come today and get pre-approved credit for VAT Day. Save some of the hassle of this VAT Day and drop by some of your local Hosford's department stores today. Yes! Come to any Hosford's department today and get pre-approved credit for December 18th and December 19th. No down payment necessary. That's right, zero money down. And no payment until February 2021. That's right. No payment until February 2021. Come to Hosford's today, where we will be dropping major discount plus pre-approved credit when you shop now. How, you ask? Well, it's simple. All you have to do is visit any of the Hosford's departments, including furniture and appliances, Ashley Furniture Home Store, Building and Nevis Centers, and the Automotive Division. Make your VAT Day wish list, and we'll do the credit check. Come back on VAT Day and get all that you picked with your pre-approved credit and be on your way to a merrier Christmas. Whether it's new furniture, a new stove, or a brand new car, Hosford's is giving you pre-approved credit today. Be on your way to a merrier Christmas. Pre-approved credit today for VAT Days December 18th and December 19th at Hosford's. Visit stores for all details.
Yeah.
And we are back. Welcome back to even more Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali, and we are having conversations that needs to be had. So,
no, I'm sweating in AC.
Who's sweating?
I mean, a little shiny, but
Me feel it was greasy.
Oh, it's a little greasy.
But we're back.
I woke up like Fenty Beauty. Sorry.
Me
I don't need Fenty Beauty.
What?
This is Handy Beauty.
Handy Beauty.
You don't need
wow.
Fenty Beauty. Thanks.
Morning.
Thank you, parents.
Morning, Geneve.
Thank you, parents.
Morning.
For blessing me. Thanks. All right. Let's resume.
But yes, but you want to go on to something else? Or
where were we?
Well, off here we're talking about the people of prominence,
Yeah.
and the people in positions of power and influence in St. Kitts who use
Using
that
their power
as leverage to trouble people, daughter and people, woman.
But question though, aren't we the ones voting for them and putting the government to work for us? I think we have the wrong concept of government. Ain't we working for them, you know? They're working for us. So that is why, you know, activism and putting pressure on as a group is a good way to get things done. Because if me alone might just get washed under the rug because it's me alone. But if it's hundreds or if it's thousands of people are saying that this is an issue that we want addressed in society, and if you don't address it as the government body who's supposed to be working for us, then, well, you know, your time and your place might be as long as you think you would be, you know?
Yeah. And that's the way it should work.
But we haven't taken our power like that here in St. Kitts and Nevis, unfortunately.
And the thing is, we in this room recognize the importance of these issues. There's some people, because it doesn't affect them personally,
it's not an issue for them.
It's not an issue for them. For them, the issue is I want a piece of land. The issue is why the waffle just don't clean up the drain them properly.
I want to work. How can I get one?
You understand? Like,
yeah, like you're bypassing a lot of issues because of selfish reasons, which is terrible because I feel like we're a selfish nation sometimes.
Country above self.
Which one?
You mean self above country?
Oh.
We're party 15.
Yeah, I believe that we can get it done.
We did elect the politicians, but sometimes it's like people forget that they're working for us and it's not the other way around. People actually go out.
They forget.
They don't forget. They don't want it that way.
It is a willful narrative that they've put forward, and we buy into it every election.
Yeah.
Good point, Carla.
And I just want to read something here because
no, they're working for us, right?
Yeah, but it's only, you know, like you said, but it goes for every single you know, politician in almost every single country. It's always for the people until the people give me what I want.
Yeah.
Then it's for me. Then when it's time again, remember, I'm for you. was for you at the beginning, then we do it all over again.
For you again. We have a call. Caller, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's the right move to go because even police are crying out. The police are ready to move the vendors off the street. The umbrellas are digging people in the eye, putting them in harm's way by walking in traffic. And they're ready to go in action. But the politicians say, hey, don't touch. And there are a number of issues that they could look at and straighten up.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody wonder, how come the police don't do that? How come the police don't do that? But the police are shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Police are shut down, and you dilute them. Let somebody have a permit. You go to Nevis, it's a different story. In Nevis, you walk out on the street and you wonder, hey, this is really nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
But you go down on the Bayfront, you see some old tray, some old stand where people clean fish. They don't even move them.
Mm-hmm.
People know not even moving the barbecue thing until somebody protests about that. Maybe something might happen.
Right.
But the police is ready to move. Have a good day.
All right.
Thank you,
sir.
Carl. But yeah, the caller is definitely right. We have to show them that we are ready to be mobilized. And from the outpouring that I've seen in the past couple of weeks, I know that we are. So we really got to keep up the pressure. We really got to keep the stance. And everyone has to show solidarity with the issue so that our politicians don't just say, oh, sexual harassment is a controversial topic. By next year, because the Youth Parliament drafted a lovely, sexual harassment bill. And these are young people taking action. So, come on, man. Give us the support that we require and we need. This is an issue for us. We aren't just here to stand up and pretend politics. We want real politics. We want real, reformation. So, and it protects everyone. It doesn't just protect one set of people. It protects everybody. You might have a sister, aunt, or nephew, whatever, that gets sexually harassed or who is abused or who is raped. So even if it doesn't affect you now, that you know of, it might be affecting you, but you just don't know because they're not reporting it. So we really, really need to address those things. And we were talking about earlier, why people wouldn't speak out. And last night I was reading a post by a Caribbean influencer, and something that she said really stood out to me. And she said, a person like me in the Caribbean speaking out would have been silenced years ago. The reason there aren't many Caribbean advocates is because if you live anywhere in the Caribbean, you will never be able to speak out on certain topics in risk of fear of being blacklisted or even assassinated. Social media has allowed the world to see the issues on the islands, the issues that in the 70s and 80s they could control because there were no gatekeepers of the media. Now we are ashamed of some of the issues that we continue to put our heads in the sand about. We don't want the world to know that many of the males rape their daughters. We don't want the world to know that mothers side with their boyfriends who rape their daughters and sons. We don't want to know the true literacy rate of the people, and we're afraid of the truth and afraid of reality. And that just really hit me. So it's not just here in St. Kitts and Nevis we're struggling with.
It's across the region.
It's across the region, and we definitely.
really need to address it.
Definitely. I mean, we have situations here where entire families for generations, this thing is ingrained in the family unit, like for generations. Cousins and cousins, we hear about it and we see it, and people just don't want to deal with it because, like you said, dealing with it and having to face it, it says something about you too, Like it says something about you, the fact that you are part of this society, you have been ignoring it, and it forces people to kind of look at themselves too, And a lot of times, not only look at themselves, but also it might actually trigger past traumas.
Yeah.
And so people try to just avoid it. I don't want to deal with it. I've heard people when I said you would have admitted to me that you would have, had some type of abuse, or molestation when you were younger, and so and some of these people are the ones who are the most quiet when it comes to this, and sometimes it's just like, I just don't want to deal with it. But other times you'd hear these people say things like, well, I get over it, they could get over it.
Yep.
Right? And part of it is they just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to face it.
Yeah.
Right?
But the thing too is, getting over it isn't dealing with it. You know,
Isn't
they ain't
dealing
dealing with
with
it. You know,
Right.
they lock it away in some part of their
Compartmentalize, yeah.
subconscious, and they feel that's getting they've gotten over it. No, that's not victory over the situation. That is definitely not victory over the situation. You need to have healing. You need to be able to see yourself in the light that you probably had before the abuse happened. You need to be able to forgive the person that did it to you, whether it was, you know, no matter what the situation, you need to be able to forgive, because then you don't want to be in a situation where every time you see that person, you know, you just jump right back to that trauma. You can't be triggered all the time. So all of these are things that are part of the healing process that people actually don't do, but they say they're over it because they create the mental blocks, and it's not healthy.
I think that we're gonna have trouble achieving this type of behavior from victims and even perpetrators being able to successfully rehabilitate until we create a society that is tolerant
and compassionate
and accepting. Because as much as people, and we've seen people who are like yourself, like activists or whatever, right? They come out, they try to create positive change, and they get bashed for it. And I'm not even talking about from the powers that be. I'm talking about the neighbors. I'm talking about the family. Your family, they ask you, like, what you gotta be? What you got to think? What you got to... And you get discouraged. Like being things, like... Yeah, and it gets tiring for people who have this sense of civic responsibility, who want to go out and affect change, to have to deal with all the backlash that come for just trying to do something right that everybody should actually be trying to do. So, it like society in itself, in other words, we all have a responsibility to do our part to create an environment where we could see the change that we want to see.
Which is one of the reasons why I love to see young people getting involved, and even shows like this. You have Island Tea, you have UP on Freedom FM. Recently, I've joined on to a show, Legendary Nevis, comes on Wednesday nights at 8. If you guys want to, you can tune in there as well. And one of the reasons why I said my focus isn't generally on leaders. My focus is on the society. I need to effect change by the society, and I'm doing that by being true to what I believe in. If I know something's wrong, I'm going to call it wrong. I'm going to call it wrong for me. I'm going to call it wrong for my friends. If I'm around guys and they're talking about little girls, what are you talking about, boy? You know, like...
Simple like that.
Be willing to call a spade, because the moment you turn a blind eye to that, you are there participating actively, because you know of the situation, in creating a sexual offender. And you might be taking it lightly, but you actually are.
You know,
because it didn't do anything about that situation.
A lot of people so afraid to stand up to their friends because you're afraid to lose your friend. You know your friend doing all kind of things that they shouldn't be doing.
You don't want to lose your friend.
But you don't want to lose your friend.
Or you don't want your friends to team up and exile you.
Exactly. So you're laughing and you're jeering. And in your heart, you know what your friend doing is completely wrong. So you are part of the problem. You're not because it's your friend for years and you grew up together. Mean that if your friend is doing something like hurting children or women or men or whatever they're doing, you turn a blind eye to it because you are part of the problem.
Yep. And we have to stop that. We're protecting the persons that are offending, and then we're gonna ostracize the victims, laugh after them, jeer them. I really don't know how people would see somebody who's been sexually assaulted and feel that's funny.
Yeah, I also think that we also need to learn to. We also need to start being comfortable with monitoring our friends' language, because language is important too when it comes to certain things. Like, if somebody had a breakdown from something and then they're talking about it, she gone crazy. No.
Yeah.
We have to stop. We have to stop it there, and we have to say, why is she crazy for having a reaction to something that happened to her, and what exactly is crazy? What does that mean?
Look at the things that your peers define as fun and things like that. Like, that's something that I don't look at all the time. Like, because when you're taking things that generally ain't funny and continually make it, and I'm not saying like comedic relief and things like that. Like, yeah, that in itself is a skill and all that. But when you minimize through just like trivializing things, like that's a kind of trait that I tend to think, and I get called serious and by always this and always that. But yeah, man, like we're not at a place as a society where we could trivialize these things.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
they're not being dealt with.
We have to stop it, and it's important that you say that, because sometimes you see a lot of social media posts. The ones with the most likes are the ones, especially when it comes to the interaction of men between women, is the ones that are pushing harassment.
Yeah.
Don't give up, boy. Keep going in and da. At some point, she's gonna give in or whatever. So now a guy goes out, he starts talking to a girl because he likes her, he likes to see her or whatever, and she's like, dude, I'm not interested. No man, maybe in a couple of months something will happen. So now he calling up she phone, she inbox up and down the place. He following her up and down the place because he feel that he needs to follow her in order to get you. But we laugh after it and we joke about it and we say whatever. It's such a thin line. There is such a thin line between the comedy and the actual, offense.
Why?
Let me tell you
And
something,
the flip side
right?
of that, go ahead, Jade.
I've had men tell me they're gonna get me by will or by force.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, I'm not sure as I'm contesting this to you.
But hold on, I was going to say the same.
Wait, no.
Just guy.
I have literally spoken to several females in my lifetime that I would approach and say, hey, blah, 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 express some interest and so. And I say, no, I got a boyfriend, me interested, blah, blah, blah. And I say, okay, cool, no problem. And then a month down the line, we're talking again. And she said, man, I remember when you used to like me? And I said, yeah, but you didn't take me on. She said, well, you enjoy hard enough.
You enjoy hard enough.
Because
no.
You
only asked once.
Because she's already normalized with the same kind of predatory behavior.
Yeah.
So she thinks you're supposed to act like that.
No, me still not supposed to stalk her and so, but
no. But boss, a woman literally told me after
Apply the pressure.
At the same point. So at the same point, I tell her the same thing, like, yo, but you basically let me know it wasn't possible, you was interested. So I move on. And she's like, no, is the price?
The girl tell me direct.
The girl tell me that was her direct quote, but is the price? You think you could just give me some? No,
the girl tell me, but obviously, wasn't serious.
But you
Can you enter again?
You should be able to tell. There's different nuances that you should be able to pick up and figure out.
I don't deal with nuances.
No.
That's where you get in trouble.
Yes.
Well,
that's when you misinterpret
If
things.
you say no,
that is the good area there.
If you say no, and
that's the good area. You tell me no, I listen to what you say.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad they're more.
So that's the problem.
like that.
If that's what let that person suffer with the consequences of their
missing out on me.
Missing out.
Right, of missing out and their cat and mouse game. Let them suffer the consequences of that. But you know,
hey, you know what happened to? You trouble them, right? And they shut you down. And they see the next girl and say, oh, I see you got a woman now. I say, yeah, but when I was troubling you didn't tell me. You weren't serious. But you said wasn't serious. You only asked me once.
Yeah.
I just say, wow, like.
But one of the things.
I only asked you once too. I know she's more man.
I think you're missing out. I don't think you miss out.
But bro, like one of the things I think that one of the facets of this whole conversation is the fact that a lot of times we only see sexual abuse going in one direction.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of boys, there are a lot of men that constantly suffer from inappropriate actions from females.
Regularly, every week.
Yep.
And that gets minimalized, trivialized, swept under the rug. Like you get laughed. When we talk about like dudes coming for and victims feeling funny about talking, like you can imagine how men feel when like something happened to them that
they're comfortable with
because it goes directly to your sense of manhood, right? And emasculation. And emasculation comes in so many different forms from so many different places, right? So, I mean, I think we really need to be aware that a lot of that happens, and in terms of normalizing it, I think that is one of the things that is most normalized. Abuse of boys and men by women.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at the legislation too. Can't rape a man, like all this stuff when it comes to talking about this and that.
Which is
like,
a whole issue because the legislation basically saying that men can't be raped.
Yeah.
That means that every man that has been sexually abused in whatever capacity, they're not valid. So what must they do with their situation? So legislation tell you it not really can't happen, but then you are still expected to go seek help for it, for
Bro,
something that's
no,
okay?
you're expected to like it.
have to live with it.
Well, that too, the
That's- they're
societal,
expected
the
to like it,
societal
you know.
portion of it tells you, and you ain't take it.
You're supposed to like it, like.
What do you mean? You get no because how a girl trying to do this and like abuse is abuse no matter who it is from.
Emasculation.
Yeah,
Emasculation.
definitely. So, but we can do it, man. I believe in us.
It's not impossible.
I'm trying to believe more.
And I think what we need need to start doing, it's gonna be a hell of a task to change the minds of people who have been on this earth longer than us. But what we need to start doing as the younger generation, we need to watch and monitor the way we handle situations, and we really have to pay attention to the way we respond to things, the language we use, so that the people that are coming up behind us don't follow the same trend as the previous generation. They follow our trend, which is being mindful of what we say, not trivializing, not downplaying, listening and acknowledging. And I think when we do that type of stuff, we will slowly start to get some sort of change somewhere.
Yeah, we're the gatekeepers of the next generation, and I can definitely see a shift in terms of the momentum, in terms of the things that are important to us happening in our society. So I'm confident that we're gonna get things done. Definitely confident.
Hopefully so. But first thing first, we have to get rid of some of these policymakers and lawmakers that are in there that are culprits as well. Otherwise, nothing can ever change. They're gonna protect themselves.
They say voting is private, but I think people think it's public.
No, but the thing is, we vote for our representatives, but the bureaucrats are who remain.
Yeah, because it's not just them; it's permanent secretaries, it's all the other people.
Them
and
remain. And they're there forever.
That's what they call permanent.
Very permanent. Very permanent. So and Lord, for people listening, we ain't saying that they pay us them out, they should blame people.
But we know that's
We're just giving an example.
Please, we're not them.
There might be some allegedness.
I don't know about that.
That's
No, but what we are saying is that these people are in a position and have a responsibility to act.
Yes, to act.
Cases, and in some cases, it seems as though there's a lack of political will to be able to do what needs to be done.
And it might even be them, like it could be their colleagues, because they all know the colleagues' secrets,
Yeah, definitely.
And if you see a piece of policy come across your desk that you're not going to implicate your colleague, you're going to know it.
Yeah. You think twice.
You think twice.
You see, but that's if it's a secret policy. That is something that that's there and the public ain't know about. But if the public know that the sexual harassment bill is coming now because we've asked for the sexual harassment bill, there's nothing you can do about it because why you ain't come off your desk yet?
I didn't see it.
What?
I didn't. Depending on all the ink, waiting for some pens to come in. KDP. I couldn't sign. I didn't have a pen.
And maybe they needed to hire Amali tech charge.
Oh my Lord!
Oh boy! New nickname.
That there sound like the reverse.
New nickname, alert.
That there sound like the reverse. Like, oh my God.
He catch you.
That sound like when he was showing nameplate the first time. It sound like what he was
Oh
talking
Jesus!
No.
No.
Anyway, we've come to the end of our show. But inappropriate, but Jesus wept on a mule. It's so callers.
Sorry, Carlos.
Sorry, but we have to leave.
Yeah, we know.
We done gone overtime.
We went overtime.
And we're not totally high.
We wanted to finish the conversation with our guest. Give him as much time as possible to speak on his activism effect. Yeah.
So everybody
activist work.
Yeah, everybody become active. It's simple. It ain't hard because I didn't need any special skills for this.
Standing up outside the Brantley office for a few hours sound hard to me, but we support you. 1 hour?
Yeah.
Okay, damn
Just between 10 to 11. Because I know people need
to
be
refreshment.
easy.
Right. But the thing I like about this is that is organic. You saw a need, you felt the need to do something, and you acted. There's no name, you ain't got to go on a Facebook page,
it's a
thing on Instagram. You just do something. Yeah. And I really applaud you for taking the step, for doing something. It feels organic, it feels real, it feels like there's a true concern on your behalf. And I think when something comes out of that type of energy, that things will happen. So, kudos to you.
Blessings.
All right, well, that brings us to the end of our show. It's a lovely Tuesday here in the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis.
Tickle Me Taco Tuesdays.
And if you all want to, anyway, I'll tell you all off here. Because me advertise nobody business no more for free. Kevon, you have something you want to tell the people before we leave? But Kevon, your belly gone down.
I tell you, y'all take his joke.
I said, me ass.
What's here? I'm sitting and it's not folding.
It's not folding. I could see your belt if you had on one.
Bye, Kevon. I tell you so last week, yeah, me buy.
Y'all think this is a joke?
Something keeping.
Y'all think this is a joke? I did not come to play games. And with that being said, you can't be everybody cup of tea because you're not a mug. I can fit in my pants. I fit in one yesterday.
It's a journey. Congrats.
Thank you, everybody.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9.